Scribble.
Unseen perks of the wealthy. What's a silent luxury that rich people have that most normal people would never even notice? Quiet. Rich people live in places that are quiet, even if they are in the middle of a city. They are away from busy roads, have significant landscaping to dampen noise, etc., have quiet appliances, soundproofing in their homes, exceptionally quiet cars. The only noises they hear are the ones that they want. Depends how rich we're talking about. I knew a billionaire once. He didn't carry a wallet. Nobody ever presented him with a bill for anything. It was all just taken care of by his people without a word. But if you were at the restaurant sitting at the next table over, you wouldn't notice a thing. Also, all of his clothes, even the casual clothes, was custom made for him. Never had any branding on it. A gargantuan amount of social capital. And I'm not talking upper middle class, but really rich people. Their entire work day consists of managing connections. Because if you need something in a world where everyone has functionally infinite money, you need something else than money to get what you want. This grants them a safety net that others don't have. Because even if they go bankrupt, they'll always have a friend with a third vacation home where they can stay until all the decade-long lawsuits have been settled. In my opinion, this is where the line between working class, upper middle class if you want, and rich really is. No exact dollar amount, but at a safety net that exists outside of money. This is more of an upper middle class and higher than straight up rich, but not having to budget. I grew up very poor, and I'm reasonably well off now, and that has been one of the biggest differences. You go to a fancy steakhouse, there's a burger dinner plate on the menu for 25 bucks. There's a steak for 95 bucks. You feel like a steak today, you just order the steak. The friend who you invited along who isn't in the same socioeconomic class as you is looking at the burger plate, wondering if they can get it cheaper if they order just the burger without the side, while sweating at how you're planning on splitting the bill. This is a contrast that people born well off don't realize, and that even everyday people may not consider just how big of a deal it is in terms of cognitive load. Time without constant pressure, not just free time, but the ability to make decisions without every choice being tied to survival, bills, or exhaustion. Being able to rest without guilt, turn down bad opportunities, solve problems quickly with money, or disappear for a while without your life collapsing. A lot of wealthy people also buy convenience in ways most people barely notice, things getting handled before they become stressful. Good healthcare fast, quiet spaces, reliable transportation, access through connections instead of waiting. From the outside, it can look like they just seem calmer, but a big part of that calm comes from having buffers between themselves and everyday stress. Laundry service. I remember when I was a kid, my mom paid some lady that hung out at the laundromat to do our laundry for us. I mentioned that to a teacher or something, and they assumed we were rich. We weren't. Not even close. It was literally some trailer park lady that set up shop and did people's laundry for like $5. But looking back as an adult, that's definitely rich people behavior, especially if it includes pickup and drop-off. Elizabeth Currid Halkett wrote a book called The Sum of Small Things, a theory of the aspirational class. She suggested that inconspicuous consumption, as opposed to conspicuous consumption we all learned about in school, is the biggest one. Money spent on stuff like education, personal services, health and longevity activities. And as others have said, a lot of money affords the possibility of reducing or removing friction related to decisions, time, and outside pressures. Lack of auto problems, buying new cars even every 3-4 years eliminates all the hassle of finding rides, swapping cars, and getting mechanical things handled even if you can afford it. That next level of just always driving a vehicle that doesn't break down is an amazing perk that even I did notice in my own life until my kids started driving and I bought them like 5-year-old cars. No big trouble or hassle, but occasional breaks or AC or a check engine life that needs to be dealt with that I just haven't had in my own life in 20 years. I only recently became what could be considered rich. My answer is time. I can just pay people to do things I don't want to do. I no longer clean my house because it is easier for me to spend $250 every 2 weeks for my housekeeper to do it. I spend my free time doing what I enjoy. A college friend who went grocery shopping with a famous person's daughter said it was remarkably fast because the girl just threw into her shopping cart whatever caught her eye, whatever she felt like she wanted. No looking at the ads, no price checking, no price comparisons. I don't know why, but I can't seem to forget that. One of the interesting things I've seen with money, and with people that have a lot of it, is just how much they get for free or at reduced costs. It feels like every budget-friendly or cost-conscious good or service opens up an opportunity to be nickel and dimed after the point of initial spend. With travel, for example, cheap flights and hotels come with a laundry list of add-on fees, bag fees, early check-in, late checkout, and on and on and on. Meanwhile, a premium flight or hotel come with free bags, daily food experience credits, food, drinks, and so much more. I don't consider myself rich, but some would. I have a couple high-cost credit cards that make travel so cheap in so many ways. My last trip was to a 4-star hotel, all covered in points, free upgrade to a suite, flight covered in points, free upgrade, no bag fees, free lounge access with food, drinks, etc. 75% off on the rental car, upgrade to a large SUV for free. $75 day meal credit, access to the mountain right out the back of the hotel, so no transportation fees. It was great. And it's not just with luxuries with travel. When you have money, you can capitalize. Paying up front for discounts, avoiding costs of loans/credit. Life is incredibly expensive when you don't have money. Being able to buy silence, privacy, and distance from other people. Rich people can pay to avoid noise, crowds, waiting, interruptions, unwanted attention, even unnecessary social interaction. Bigger homes, quieter neighborhoods, private transport, exclusive spaces where fewer people have access to them. At a certain level, luxury stops being about expensive things and starts being about control over your environment and your peace of mind. Being able to buy comfort without thinking twice. Quiet spaces, good mattresses, clean and safe neighborhoods, air conditioning running all day without worrying about the bill, food delivery whenever you're tired, healthy, high-quality food. The one thing they all have in common is places to rest/relax. They literally have nothing to worry about, so they are able to switch their minds off completely. Nearly all of them have their version of a backyard oasis, man cave, or whatever it is they need to just turn their brain off. They also have not one but several places to go for vacations that they own. I did construction, home reno, for a lot of top 1% clients. Nearly every job was an oasis of some sort. Want more stories like this? Subscribe and stay tuned.